Okay, thank you, Bartek. On the 1st to the 4th, it was the Turkish Airlines Open. Hao Tong Lee and Justin Rose went to a playoff after their first 4 rounds. They were both 70 under after 72 holes, but the world number 2, Justin Rose, came out victorious and pipped Lee to take the trophy. On the 7th to the 10th, in the LPGA Tour, Mexican golfer Gaby Lopez won the Blue Bay LPGA event at 8 under par despite finishing the 4th round at 1 over. She beat Aria Jutanguan by 1 stroke to take the £2.1 million purse. On the 8th to 11th, English golfer Lee Westwood beat fellow European Sergio Garcia in the Nedbank Challenge, and Westwood beat the Spaniard by 3 strokes to win his first tournament since 2014. Westwood failed to make the Ryder Cup squad this year, but he now moves to 64th in the world rankings.
Do it again under pressure and win against a couple of quality players at the end there. Sergio and Louis were my 2 nearest challengers, and it shots like 8 coming down the stretch. It's nice to just prove it to yourself every now and again.
2 events took place on the weekend of the 15th to the 18th of November. Danny Willett won the DP World Tour Championship in Dubai to claim his first win since he won that green jacket in 2016. The former Masters winner won by 2 strokes to beat fellow Englishman Matthew Wallace. We now move on to the LPGA Tour, where Lexi Thompson won the CME Group Tour Championship at 18 under par. She now moves to 5th in the Rolex World Women's Ranking. We now take a look at athletics. On the 4th, the New York Marathon took place. The 42-kilometre course was the setting for the 48th New York City Marathon. Africa dominated the males race, where they took the first 5 places. However, the Ethiopian runner Lesila Desea won the race with a finishing time of 2 hours, 5 minutes and 59 seconds. He beat his fellow countryman Shura Kitata by only 2 seconds. Taking the bronze medal was Kenyan Jeffrey Kamworo. In the women's race, Kenya topped the first 2 places, with Mary Kiatani winning with a time of 2 hours, 22 minutes and 48 seconds. Viviane Sheriou took 2nd place, with the bronze medal place going to American female runner Shalane Flanagan. We now take a look at motorsport. On the 4th of November, the penultimate race of the MotoGP calendar took place in Sepang, Malaysia. Johan Zarco took pole position, with Valentino Rossi in 2nd. Andrea Iannone completed the first row, taking 3rd place. Moving on to the actual race now, 2 Spaniards took the first places, with reigning world champion Marc Marquez winning whilst riding his Honda. Alex Rins took 2nd place for his 4th podium finish of the season. He was riding the Suzuki bike, and French Yamaha rider Johan Zarco came in 3rd place to take his bronze medal. In the final race of the season at Chester, Valencia, Paul Espargaro took 3rd place for KTM and got his first ever podium finish. Alex Rins took 2nd once again, but the race was won by Andrea Dovizioso. This meant that the 2018 MotoGP World Champion was once again Marc Marquez. He is now the 7 times World Champion. And there were, of course, 2 F1 Grand Prix this month. On the 11th, the Brazilian Grand Prix was held at the Interlagos circuit. The Finnish driver Valtteri Bottas came 3rd in qualifying, with Ferrari driver Sebastian Vettel claiming 2nd. However, it was, of course, British driver Lewis Hamilton who took pole position in his Mercedes. On the Sunday, Kimi Räikkönen came from 4th on the grid to come 3rd, and Red Bull's Netherlands driver Max Verstappen came 2nd after gaining 3 places from the grid. But it was Lewis Hamilton who dominated the weekend once again. The world champion came 1st yet again in Brazil. Okay, the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi was the setting for the final race of the season. It was a 1-2 qualifying for Mercedes, with Valtteri Bottas taking 2nd and Lewis Hamilton winning pole position. Ferrari driver Sebastian Vettel was 3rd on the grid. In the race, Max Verstappen came 6th on the grid to claim 3rd. Vettel moved up 1 place to take 2nd, and Lewis Hamilton proved his dominance and why he should be world champion, with yet another race win to finish off the season. This meant that the final standings for the world champions were as follows: Kimi Räikkönen from Ferrari in 3rd, Sebastian Vettel from Ferrari in 2nd, and Lewis Hamilton from Mercedes in 1st. In the Constructors' Championship, it was Aston Martin Red Bull who came 3rd, Scuderia Ferrari in 2nd, and it was Mercedes AMG Petronas who came 1st once again. In other motor racing news, it was the Kennards Hire Australian Rally Championships on the 15th to the 19th of this month. The 316km course saw Norwegian duo Mads Ostberg and Torstein Eriksson take third, driving in the Citroën C3. In second was the New Zealand driver Hayden Paddon and British navigator Sebastian Marshall. In the Hyundai i20, however, first place was taken by the Finnish duo of Jari-Matti Latvala and Mikaika Antila in the Toyota Yaris. Okay, we're now going to move on to tennis. On the 5th to the 11th of November, it was the Next Gen ATP Finals in Milan. In the final was the Greek Stefanos Tsitsipas and Australian Alex de Minaur. The tournament was won by the Greek 3-1, and he now moves to 15th in the world rankings. Also running over that time, there was the Women's Fed Cup final in Prague. The Czech Republic beat Germany in the semi-finals in April 4-1 to progress through to the final, and they faced the USA, who beat France 3-2. It was the Czech Republic who won 3-0 though in front of their home fans to claim their 11th title. The USA have only won it more times than them with a record 18 titles. On the 12th to the 18th, it was the Nitto ATP Finals in London. It was world number 1 Novak Djokovic who was beaten by German Alexander Zverev, who is now 4th in the world rankings of tennis. Finally, the biggest tennis news of the year. The Davis Cup final took place between the 23rd and the 25th of November. The final was between France, who beat Spain in the semis, and Croatia, who beat the USA. It was Zeljko Krajan's Croatian team who beat Yannick Noah's French team 3-1 to claim their second Davis Cup title. Finishing off tonight's show with football. Millions of people tuned in worldwide to watch the newly introduced Nations League. Okay, we're just going to focus on England for this one. And on the 15th, Wayne Rooney made his England return after 1 year of international retirement. The World Cup semi-finalist England faced the USA in an international friendly. The last time they faced each other was, of course, in that South African World Cup in 2010. The young England team dominated most of the game, and goals from Jesse Lingard and Trent Alexander-Arnold saw the three Lions go 2-0 up at half-time. In the 58th minute, the 33-year-old striker was brought on for Jesse Lingard. 19 minutes later, Bournemouth striker Callum Wilson made it 3-0 with a solid volley from inside the box. And it was nearly a golden day for Wayne Rooney with a late strike that was unfortunately saved by Brad Guzan, the USA goalkeeper. 3 days later, Gareth Southgate's side faced Croatia in the Nations League. It was all to play for as England tried to secure their place in the playoffs. Zlatko Dajic's side beat England in the summer to secure their place in the World Cup final. The first half finished goalless, but Croatia struck first in the 57th minute, and Andrej Kramaric flicked the ball over Jordan Pickford's head. However, England would not be tamed, and a 78th minute tap-in from Jesse Lingard made it 1-1. It remained neck and neck until the 85th minute, where England had a free kick deep into the opposition's half. Harry Kane managed to slide into the box and just get a touch on the ball to send England to the top of their group. Thank you very much for watching, and then we'll now move to Luke for a more in-detail sports news.